Hey Bales, welcome back to Game Maker Monday. Last time we created the basic of the main character of the game, a little P. And today we're gonna continue giving him some physics to work on him and making some ground underneath him. And let's actually start with the ground. We start creating a parent here. In a group called parents, just because that makes it easier for us. Solid for parent solid, and that's because that's all the solid things he will be able to walk into. And then in here we make a sprite for it, and that will just be a blue box, so we can resize it and everything. So create sprite solid square, and we will make it 16 times 16. Fill it with the color blue, so we easily can distinguish between that and other stuff. And yep, let's make a group called solids here too. And down here, solids, and create object, solid square. We'll give it the sprite for it, give it the right parent here, and then we can begin adding them to the room. And in this Game Maker version, you can resize objects in here in the game editor, room editor, which I found out some time ago. So that makes we don't need any more blocks than this. So that's just great. And yeah, let's just give us some ground. The reason I'm making it all blue is because we can use tile sets on top of it, and then make these invisible, so that we can make the terrain look different and stuff like that. And therefore we don't need and then we don't need to make objects, a lot of objects with different sprites for the different levels and stuff. So now we got that. Now we need him to interact with the ground, land on it, and giving him some gravity to work with. So we go to the player here and makes a category here called let's call it physics. And here we'll have horizontal and vertical. And in behavior here, nothing there. We need to add a category up here too called air. And here we will make the in-air variable we made last time. And there we will check for if he's in there, and if he's in there, then it will use some specific sprites or images in the sprite. And yeah, actually, before doing that, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around here. We need to make another variable here called in Mac. Because my plan is to make this little P able to go inside different machines, and thereby make it use different skills depending on if it's in a flying machine, it can fly. If it's jumper, it can jump. If it's in a machine with guns, you can use guns and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the plan. So we start with an air check. If instance place x comma y plus 1 comma par solid. If there is a solid underneath it, then in air equals to false, else in air equals to true. Great. And then we have up here in the check up here, we need to make a landing here, because if in air equals to true, if it's in air when it checks this and then it becomes false, then we want it to blink and image index equals to 0. So now it will blink when it lands. And if in air is true, then the vertical speed will increase with gravity. Great. And down here, we will then add some let's call it images. So let's start with making it look in the standard here. That's image number 6. Wrong one. Here, image index equals to 6. And if vertical speed is less than 0, or let's say less than 1, image index equals to 5, and if vertical speed is greater than 1, sorry, up here it needs to be -1, my bad, then image index equals to 7. So now if it's moving upwards, then it will be looking up, and moving downwards it will be looking down. And when it's in the mid-air and switching between the two, it will, in a brief period, be looking straight at the screen. Great. So that was the images for when in air. Right now it's not moving, so it should just be looking down because the vertical speed is... Okay, it doesn't. Vertical speed is moving 6. If vertical speed is less than -1, looking up. It's bigger than 1, greater than 1, and we're looking down. Boom, boom. Actually, we also need to make sure that when it's in air, like here, then it shouldn't blink. So great. And yeah, should do it, but I'm a little puzzled why it doesn't look down, because it should actually the vertical speed should increase. It's not moving yet, but the variable should increase, so it should begin looking down. Boom, boom, boom. Inner force. Oh well, we'll try at the physics and then we can work it out, because then it's more visible. We'll start with the vertical speed here, and we will make a loop going through for every speed it got, both negative and positive. It will do it one time, so it will move 1 pixel at a time and check for 1 pixel at a time. So for I equals 0, I is less than the absolute of vertical speed I plus equals 1. That should do it. That makes the loop. The I is just a variable we make for a moment, and absolute of vertical speed makes that if it's negative, it will turn it positive. So if the speed is -4, it will become 4. So now we can say if instance place x point y plus comma par solid, and y plus we will add vertical speed divided with absolute of vertical speed. This way it will add so that if the vertical speed is positive, it will move positively 1, and if it's negative, it will check for -1. So yeah. So if instance, I want it to negative this, so if not instance place, so if there's not something in the way, then y plus equals to vertical speed divided with absolute vertical speed. So it will move 1 pixel if the pixel is free, and if not, else if it's not free, it will stop. So vertical speed will equals to 0. Super. So let's try this. And it's not moving at all. And I don't really get why. Vertical speed is 0, blah blah blah. linear equals vertical speed plus equals to gravity. Oh, it changed it to, I hate when it does that. That should change it. Now it will have vertical speed. Yeah, and we didn't saw it land at all because it's too close to the ground. It should now. Yeah, you see it blink when it landed and initiated another blink after it landed. But that was the gravity. Now it will fall when it has nothing underneath it. So that's great. And that was that part of it. Now we can make it move horizontally too. And yeah. I believe we should have it sort of roll when it moves. Maybe. I don't know. But we can't make the figure itself roll. We need to make it make another variable where it controls which rotation it is at. So we will say here, no, down here, we'll just create rot for rotation, and we will say it's at 0 first, because then we can, in the draw event, the event where it draws the character, we can draw it rotated to that degree. So draw sprite extended. We want the sprite index of the player with the image index of the player, the position of the player, the scale of the player, the rotation of the variable, the color of the player, and the alpha of the player. Great. And in physics, we'll then copy this and alter it for our horizontal movement, meaning we'll use the horizontal speed instead. And that's also up here. And here will be x instead, and horizontal, horizontal, and horizontal. But there is nothing making it move horizontal yet. So we will add that in movement. And here we'll just control with the, actually let's create an extra room. I often do this, and we will make it room setup, and the background color, and oops, then we will make the startup code here, and here we'll add some controls, and key right will as standard be virtual key right, and key left will be virtual key left, and continue. Room, go to next. Super. Oh, we needed to make that global variables so we can use them in our object. Good. Because when we see h speed plus equals to keyboard check key right plus or minus keyboard check key left. Now it will be negative if there's only one key pressed, the left key pressed, and positive if the right key is pressed, and if both key or none of the keys pressed, it will be 0. And we want it to move a little faster than 1 pixel per step, so we'll time this with 4 for starters. So now the horizontal speed should change. And yeah, it's pretty fast. That's maybe too fast actually. Maybe 1 isn't that bad, but we will try 2 because we don't want it to go too slow either. Still too fast. Actually, 1 isn't that bad then. Oh, no. Of course, that's because it doesn't have a max or minimum speed. So, while the absolute of, no, not while, if the absolute of h speed is less than 4, then it will accelerate with 1. Now it can only move that doesn't work. If how do we do this? If this no. If horizontal speed is less than no. How do we do this? We will make it 2 checks then. If the horizontal speed is less than 4 and is bigger than minus, no, that doesn't work. We make 2 complete checks here instead. That's easier for me. If keyboard check key right is true, and keyboard check key left is false, then h speed, the horizontal speed, is and h speed is less than 4, then h speed equals to minimum h speed plus 1, 4. So when you're moving, you cannot move more than 4, but if you're pushed in a direction, you can move faster than 4. That makes sort of sense. Now it's only working to the right, so let's hope it works. Yeah, great. And then we can copy this for the other direction and change it a little. So want the left to be true and the right to be full and bigger than -4. And HP is maximum and some minuses instead. Great. Now it should be able to move in both directions. Great. Now if rotate and image. Now we'll set the rotation and the image of the player when it moves. Actually, we will not need the looking forward anymore, but we can use that when it's in a machine or something. So rot plus equals to h speed. That's the first part here. That means that when the faster it moves, the faster it rotates. Like, oh, we need to make it negative, or else it just looks weird. Not in there. Minus h speed. Now it rolls, and it rolls. A little too slow. Times 2, and also we wanted to accelerate a little slower. This way it makes it harder to control, but and actually, just to make it a little more fun in the physics, instead of making it stop when it hits something, we want it to bounce off of it, but not with the complete strength. So the strength it has left when it's hitting it. No, that's not working. H speed times equals -1. So now it will reverse the horizontal speed when it hits something. Divided with 2, I believe, just to make it so like this, so it will not bounce completely off of it. actually still moves a little too, rotates a little too slowly, I think. So let's speed it up a little. Like this, yeah, that's better. And now we will add some friction too, and we'll do that in here. So after I have made these checks, it will do friction, and if not, or if keyboard check key right equals keyboard check key left. So if both keys are pressed and H speed not and when the horizontal speed is not 0, then if horizontal speed is bigger than 0, then horizontal speed is either 0 or horizontal speed minus 0.3. Or 0.5, let's do that for now. And then we need to change this one, so if it is less than 0, then it is either 0 or plus 0 plus 5. So now it should have friction too, so it stops rolling after. And actually this doesn't, it needs to be less than to make it realistic, so, or the same. So let's make it the same first and see if that works, or like this, yeah. Also, it still not rotates fast enough. We need to find it a little more. Let's say, let's try 5, just to see if that does it all. It looks a little more real, but still not enough. So we will make it, what, 8 maybe. Great. And it seems to work sort of here now. yeah. What else? The image, yeah. We can't do that right now. We can make it blink when it's turned downside. But for that to work, we need the rotation to be between 0 and 360. So while rotation is bigger than 360, rotation minus equals to 360, and that was one time too many, is less than 0, then it will add 360. Great. So now we'll stay between these two states, and for the behavior here, top down. If rotation is bigger than not 180, like moment 180 and minus minus 45, 180 and it's a top side, or standing on its head, and then we need to minus and add, so, and rotation is less than 225 and 135 here should do it, and it's not in air, then blink is true. So now when it's standing on its head, it will close its eyes. Like this. So it will not look when it's just giving a little effect. And boop, boop, boop. That works for that. We want it to be able to jump in this state. It needs to be very small jumps then. No, actually I think it will add some nice stuff to the gameplay if it can only roll to the sides, so it needs to move down, and there is no slopes or anything in this game. I don't want that. I want it to be just pure platform, so it cannot roll up anything, so it needs to drop down until it finds some machinery or of some sorts, or try to get through some puzzles without, you know, falling too low. But yeah, this is the basic movements. I don't like it being too blurry when it does that. So in Windows, the graphics, we don't want to interpolate colors. Great. It's a little more jaggy now, but it keeps the colors right, at least. So yeah. Great. So that was that part. Then we need some items to make it jump, like for example some sort of launching technologies on the ground, so when it's rolled into them it will be forced into the air or something, just to make everything a little more workable. And yeah, I think that was that for now. Hope you enjoyed, and like and subscribe or whatever if you like it. That would make me happy at least. And see you next time.